and kill attempts as divine rank. The only thing I didn't have divine rank or ancient rank in was lost time, and that's only because I don't use. Fuck this game.
Internet! It is I, SneakyDevil, and this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002.
Yugi boy.
Someone should probably ping. Actually, no, it looks like they're just showing up. Never mind, probably don't have to.
Probably not, but I'm going to do it anyway. So anyway, you guys know the song and dance by now. Don't contact the authors. The descriptions and the links and all that are in the Discord. Panels down below. Words. By the way, Max, that I do words good shirt that you sent me is very comfortable.
Good. That's one thing I'll say about RT's older shirts, at least. They chose a good material.
They did.
I don't know what it's like now.
So, lads, let us begin with something magical. Something to feast your eyes upon. Because it only goes downhill from here. So, and today we are going to start off with a Super Smash Bros. Zombieland Saga crossover.
I want to hit you.
That's his. He knows exactly what he's doing, chat, ladies and gentlemen. He knows exactly what he's doing by making us all mad.
Nope, the
Sneaky,
big nope.
Are you the only one who's seen Zombieland Saga?
Yeah. Have you guys not watched Zombieland Saga?
I've seen it.
No, I haven't, but I've been catching up on a bunch of older things on my anime backlog.
Definitely, highly recommend you watch Zombieland Saga.
It's really good.
It is not something I thought I would like, and then I watched it and I was like, I kind of want to see more.
Shaun of the Dead's better though.
Well, nah, duh. So, Zombieland Saga, the basic premise is that 5 girls have been resurrected from the dead by unknown means by a suspicious and, how best to put this? Kamina, if he became a show business character. And they have to become a pop idol group in Japan to save a prefecture. Which is like a suburb, basically.
I don't... What the fuck?
It sounds stupid, but it's...
It sounds almost as stupid as the one about a bunch of Yakuza members forced to become J-pop idol.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
It's
though.
really funny,
It's more about
though.
the characters.
Yeah, so... Super Smash Bros. Goes abroad. Jesus. The whiskey's hitting already. Abroad to Transylvania for their first overseas performance. The Smashers go to that same location as well, and little do they know that something sinister will soon happen in the land known for legends of vampires.
Aren't the Belmonts part of the Smash for this universe too? So
what?
Yeah.
Why would you go to Transylvania as a Belmont? That usually only leads to bad things.
Just once, I want to see a Belmont be like, I've been invited to go to Dracula's castle. As such, I'm on a plane to Hawaii.
I get the feeling that Ridley is going to be recruited by the world government as long as they don't find out about the pictures.
They
What?
do know that Ridley's a horrible murdering space pirate, right?
What the Gotta say, the Big Chungus chapter was pretty good.
No. No.
But the K-Rap versus
No.
Kicktail crew are the best.
No. No.
Okay,
No. We're done. Move on to the next
Big
story.
Chungus chapter.
No. No. We're done. You move
Which
on
is
to the
that?
next
That's
chapter.
chapter 11.
Oh my god. No. I refuse. This is where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't have a vote.
All right, then let's hold it up for a vote then. How many?
No, I'm not wasting my veto on this. Not unless Max is going to, so.
Oh, I absolutely agree, C8. I absolutely agree. This world, the state of this world, to say that it is in a bad condition is to underestimate how truly messed up things are. I can no longer call this world my home. The home I once knew and loved no longer exists and probably will never be restored. I have had enough time with this place. I no longer want anything to do with this world anymore. This world can destroy itself for all I care, because I do not want anything to do with this world anymore. Apparently this person really doesn't want to have anything to do with this world.
So it would seem.
So it would seem.
Have they considered
No.
buying a ticket to another dimension?
Big Chungus, Big Chungus, Big Chungus, Big Chungus,
my
Big
life.
Chungus, Big Chungus.
I need you to stop, Sneak.
Are you telling me you don't want Big Chungus?
I refuse to answer this question.
A lone person was standing atop an old building as he thought about all of those things. Before him was the sight of an old and fallen apart. No. City filled with dirty buildings. The sky was red. The clouds, the sky was red. The cloud was dark.
Ah, I see. We have Cloud's edgy phase. Good to know.
And smoke and fire could be seen coming from among the buildings in the distance. Yarnum. Sorry, hold on. Yarnum birds. There we go.
Is it actually Yardum?
I don't know. Maybe. They could only afford one cloud for the set. Japan is bankrupt. Yes. If one listened closely, they could hear the sounds of sirens, screams, and gunshots. Apparently, this might be Yarnum. Said person was in no way human at all, though he was the height of an average human adult, with a monstrous appearance resembling that of a pterodactyl. Author, did you really try and make Ridley claim Earth as his home planet? And then
I got a lot of news for you.
and then make him edgy? And then make him edgy by saying he no longer cares if the world dies? Ridley? Ridley?
Listen, Ridley is one of the greediest motherfuckers alive. If he claimed a planet, he'd be like, "Ain't no one breaking this. This is mine."
And then the hunter would, blast his face off instantly.
Big Chungus.
It's like... Stop.
Why you like this?
This is Ridley. Not Riley or Ripley. Ridley.
Why have we had this forced upon us?
Big Chungus.
Now here's the
Chungus.
real question. Would Ripley believe Ridley?
No?
No, probably not. Also, Ridley, the size of a human adult. Ridley, the size of a human adult. Ridley, human size.
Yeah,
You
obviously.
can't see it, but we are using the
Flattest
largest air
poker
quotes
face.
you will ever see.
Yes. This person beheld a grim sight before him.
This person held a grim sight before him. His eyes were with an expression that seemed to convey disappointment, anger, and sadness.
Can you stop with the idiot voice, please, God's sakes?
As he was pondering various things, someone approached him from behind and touched his wing. Oh, shit. Wait, the edgelords. Oh, okay. Fixed it. Okay. Can you please say you have failed this city?
You have failed this city.
Does that make you happy, Calvin?
Not encourage him.
Alright, well, Calvin, since you wanted it so much, you should probably clip that, because that will never come back, I'm sure.
I'll probably lose it soon. Blah, blah, blah. He turned to see that person, who appeared to be wearing a black armored suit of sorts that covered his body entirely, not even sparing the face. The helmet had a vaguely Y-shaped... Oh my fucking god. It's Dark Samus, who is apparently also male. Did I miss something?
What? I'm not surprised.
No, I mean, technically, I don't think Dark Samus even has a gender, given that they're made from Phazon.
Yeah,
I
no,
am
they're basically just
unnecessarily
like...
evil.
They're not human, they're not anything like that, they're just an entity.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only time Phazon creatures have had a gender is when, like, Phazon corrupts someone. Like...
Well, that's not even them, just them taking someone else's...
I mean,
Like, they just...
technically they're a Phazon creature at that point, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, they're just corrupted
They
by it.
die when you kill them. Like, they die when you remove the Phazon, so...
Well, it's more like,
Except Samus, because Samus
No.
is just that special.
No, it's more like as if it was, a parasite, basically.
And
Like,
I'll
your
fully
body
admit, I could be
becomes...
wrong, because it's been a long fucking
No,
time since I
it's...
played that
No,
game.
it's like you become so dependent on it that once you stop getting it, you die.
Yeah, because
Oh,
it apparently
except-
generates...
That's why when you overuse Phazon, you die in Metroid Prime 3, because your body just becomes so
Also, the
dependent on
thing
it.
is that
you just-
Phazon generates energy from 0 point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and it's also the fact that Phazon in general just hates Samus, because turns out
It has a
when you
hate
give
bar.
Phazon a mind,
I was like, I didn't think it was possible for an energy source to hate a human being, but boy, was I wrong.
turns out when you
Um,
kill the mind of Phazon at that point, the Phazon tends to get pretty fucking mad at you. Which is why when all Phazon was obliterated, Sam was just like, okay, that's job well done, everybody. Good job. Except for all my friends are dead. That's cool.
Again.
And I'm the one who killed them. Again.
To be fair, she kind of had to.
I didn't say she didn't. I'm just saying she killed all her friends.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. Let's see. It's ready, is it not? The pterodactyl-like creature asked the
I'm sorry,
armored
what did you...
person.
Pterodactyl?
Yeah.
It's a pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl, you.
I hope you won't miss this place. The armored person shook his head in response to the last line. Standing up and stretching his limbs, the winged creature turned around with the armored person and walked towards the edge on the other side of the building. Now, look, see, I do get mad at authors that don't like describe that describe too much, or they're like, he was wearing a intricate blazer with
I
a
would say
blah
they
blah.
do the mirror thing.
Yeah, I do get mad at authors that do that, but I'm also getting mad at this author for not just saying Dark fucking Samus. It's Dark fucking Samus. That's it. Like, if you're not going to give us a description of their armor, just say Dark Samus. If you're not going to give us a in-depth description of Ridley it's a human-shaped thing with pterodactyl rings, and yeah, just say Ridley.
Yeah, like just say Ridley, just say Dark Samus. You're not. None of this is like when you finally say their names, it's not like it's going to be a big fucking reveal.
It's not like anyone who watches Zombieland Saga is gonna click on Super Smash Brothers for a crossover for it and not have any idea what these characters are.
And if they don't, I'm just shocked.
And disappointed.
I'll just be confused. I'll be like, you clicked on this and you didn't know?
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. They pressed the button, and there was a spaceship, and they got into the spaceship, and there was a plant creature with and they were immediately greeted by the bizarre sight of a plant-like creature with a mouth filled with sharp teeth, situated in a pot, jumping towards
It's Petey
them.
Piranha. It's Petey Piranha. Just say it.
When the winged creature petted the plant creature on its head, the latter responded in a manner that showed affection and comfort.
This is getting to the point where I'm just like, stop.
Oh, Jesus
just stop.
Christ.
This author just keeps thinking like this audience, like this.
I
audience,
wonder
this audience
who
doesn't know
these
anything about what I'm
characters
writing
could
about.
be.
Except, we know because we looked up the tag.
Okay, but C8, my point is...
No, look, even if I came into this not knowing the tag, like, I would for sure know who Ridley is. If I know who Ridley is, I probably know who Dark Samus is. And I definitely know who Petey fucking Piranha is.
Okay, but...
It's not Petey Piranha, it's just a piranha plant.
No, but C8, my point being, isn't that... If someone comes into this and doesn't know one or the other, that's fine. I don't care. But the author should not be writing fan fiction for people that might not know the fandom they're reading for. The author should be writing fan fiction for the fans of the fandom.
And specifically, like, I'm not going to imagine this is a super hot tag.
Hot take here, guys. Maybe your writing would improve if you just assumed the people reading your story knew the fandom, the story they're reading. I mean, it's all, like I said, I am completely fine with you not using their names as long as you make accurate descriptions of them. Not this, they were covered in black armor and they had a helmet too with a Y shape. Oh wow, black armor. Gee, I know personally what that looks like because I know who the fuck Dark Samus is. But say I somehow don't know Metroid or Smash Brothers, and I come in. Okay, dark armor. Well, I got dark leather armor. I got dark plate armor. Got Black Knight style, or maybe it's a thief, or maybe it's give me some other examples of literally anything but sci-fi armor in the specific style of Samus. Like,
well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, that could literally be Clone Commandos.
Yeah.
Literally, it could be Clone Commandos. It could be a Dark Trooper.
It's just. If you're not going to use the names, give an accurate description. If you're not going to give an accurate description, use the fucking names. That's all I'm saying. It's like the author tried to be mysterious, but at the same time, also give shit details. It's. Okay.
You good now?
No.
Okay.
We're leaving. Starting from today, we will no longer have to listen to terrible noises and read about nasty news.
What?
Let's
What?
hope the place we are going to is much better than this, and it will welcome us.
What, is Ridley in 2019? Is that what's going on here?
Apparently,
Is
Ridley
Ridley
is
the
like...
author self-insert?
Yeah, apparently Ridley is a self-insert in this story because he's like, man, I just want to live peacefully and love my neighbor instead.
He's a space pirate. His ult is on the same level of spite that King K. Rool's is. You just get caught up in him killing somebody else's ship and or house.
Yeah. Honestly, he kind of just uses you as an excuse to shoot at her ship again.
No, I'm like I said, I'm pretty sure you're just incidental. Like, I'm pretty sure Ridley just stops in the middle of the match and goes, "Oh, yes, I can finally blow up Samus's ship, and I guess I can get this guy too."
Carry on.
No, like I'm just saying, like I'm pretty sure that's why. My
it.
favorite little touch about that is that you can then see Samus's ship crash in the background of whatever stage you're on.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a great little detail.
Taking his seat at the blah 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 commands, blah blah blah, the ship is flying, facing in that particular direction, the winged creature held a lever tightly and took a deep breath. Adieu, my home! Yeah, that's Ridley. He then pulled the lever and the spaceship let out a loud noise. Mwah! Suddenly, a large blue wormhole materialized before the spaceship and grew in size until it was large enough for the latter to go into, which it does. Ugh. Max, I'm gonna need you to help me dissect this with me.
What am I dissecting?
What?
Oh boy.
So clearly, they just learned about this in English class? So what grade do you think they're in? My money's on 8th.
We talk about just the way this is written.
Yeah.
Okay, with the way this is written and the level of grammar, I'm willing to bump that up to maybe a 10th grade.
I'll give that to you, yeah, probably. Blah, 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 the Belmonts, blah, 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 it's Transylvania, blah, 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 tombstones, oh my god, the
Hey,
tombstones
Sneaky.
have been ripped up.
Would you like to be really disappointed?
No.
Oh no, why?
Okay, well...
Why is it? Oh, he's writing a song. He literally wrote a song. A Gamer 2002 production. Super Smash Brothers.
yes!
Featuring Zombie of Land Saga. The Song of Light. Opening theme Lifelite. Blah blah song. Literally a freaking song. Edgy
just
song.
Just a copy-paste.
Song, edgy song.
This is literally the ending of it.
That's the song.
That's literally...
That's the Smash Bros. Song.
Really? I never listened to it.
Weave into a spire of flame.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the song from Smash Brothers, Medusa. It was in all the advertising.
Chapter 1, setting the stage.
Although it's not as good as it is in the game, because in the game you play as
Okay,
Kirby.
so
and not
we're
yourself.
skipping the rest of it. We're done with this story, but I just want to read the first line of the supposed first chapter. It has been some time since the incident with the Cybertronians, aka the Smash Brothers, Autobots, and Dinobots versus the Decepticons on Cybertron, and all was quiet for the Smashers as they relaxed in the mansion located on Onet.
And we're done. Goodbye.
Yeah!
Good night, everybody.
And that's enough of that!
Okay, now that I'm done muting myself. Woo! That was a good scream. Good scream.
Good night, everybody.
Felt good to get that out of my system.
Okay, so this is, Me, Myself, and I by Pain17 iFiction. At a young age, the daughter of Minato and Kushina suffered a traumatic experience.
Oh my god, what is that picture? Edgelord
What the shit?
nonsense.
Oh, that's the cell phone anime thing. That's the
No, that's not cell phone anime.
Yeah,
it is. That's Gasai Uno.
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure that is.
Yeah, that's because Yuno's just like Yuno's like the cool yandere that I want to step on me type of thing that was like in the early 2000s or whatever.
Somebody clip that, please.
Future Diaries?
Why? I was just explaining what
Yes.
she is.
Future
I know,
Diary,
but
yes.
it's easy to clip.
I remember that now.
At least I think it's supposed to be Uno.
Alright. Her mind split in two, forced to become separate personas! To pick up the pieces. One of them was the innocent girl she used to be, but the other became ruthless, bloodthirsty, and a protective sister. Both sisters are in it for the other, and the traitor they both loved. Naruko,
Hang on, let me get some
Itachi,
bleach. I'll be right back.
Koyuki, harem fic.
That's some good bleach.
And you know what? Nosehair's got a point.
Ricky,
What?
he's drinking, and now it's your fault.
Good. I want him to be drunk so this fucking stream can end because we have the worst fix today.
Hi,
No,
guys and gals.
That has never stopped him.
No,
ever.
that did not stop me.
We
Yeah,
had
you
him.
know what? It
more
makes it more
insufferable.
entertaining for me.
No,
because
you
suffer.
don't understand. I was so inebriated. I answered a question I was asked 10 minutes ago. And
We've
still...
had him fall out of chairs. We have had him make it to the end of a stream and then pass out after ending the stream. Nothing stops him until the stream is done.
I blackout drunk
By
a
the way, I
stream
need to
for
go
30
back
minutes
and listen
once.
to the one where he passed out because that one was just hilarious.
No,
Like, the
I
end of
wasn't
that
even.
stream.
No, I wasn't even passed
Or-
out. I
yeah,
was
no, you didn't pass
blackout
out, you just
drunk for like 30 minutes of the stream, where you guys were just like talking about random topics, and then I would pipe in with a single comment from like 15 minutes ago.
Oh yeah,
I played Auto Attack Invoker once.
and we're just like,
I'm-
what?
I'm
What?
pretty sure I was absent for that stream too.
I think I
It was
actually was in that game with you, and it was an experience.
it was Kilm, Atin, and you, I think, Max.
Where is Cruel? Anyway,
No, I've never
in
been
India.
here for. I've never been here for blackout drunk sneaky on a stream.
Oh, basically what happens
on
when I
a
get
stream.
Well, basically what happens when I get blackout drunk is that I just get really slow and sleepy, and then I go to bed.
I think you're already halfway there because you clearly missed the part where I said I wasn't there for it on a stream. I've seen you blackout. Well, I'm not seeing you, but I've been in a call with you blackout drunk.
I know. I'm saying it for the rest of the people here that aren't named Max Force.
They probably saw that stream.
Unlikely.
Calvin's probably the only one who didn't see it.
It went till 9:45, so it's really unlikely. I think a majority of people just went to sleep, and everyone kind of just talked about Dota on my stream. Until I was like, there's always more, and it always gets worse. Anyway.
Slow collapse into madness from
This is a
SneakyDevil
Naruto
is
fiction, if you couldn't tell. This won't be just a bloodthirsty Naruto fanfic. You'll have to see what's really up by reading it. I had posted this story before, but I took it down previously because of poor responses. This time, I'm hoping it'll be better. Also, I'm putting a warning here. Fanfiction will be more raw compared to my others. There'll be language, gore, and adult content. Reader discretion is definitely advised. Yes, I auto-attacked Europe once. That's why it is the way it is now. Heavy pants came from him as he ran, clutching his bloody, unmoving right arm by its shoulder.
That's correct.
Okay.
Then you're not... But how much arm is missing then? Like... Because it says the
It
bloody...
doesn't say any of it's missing. It's just saying that he's just clutching the bloody, unmoving right. Like, it's possible to get stabbed enough that your arm doesn't move.
Why doesn't he just say the right shoulder then?
I don't know, but I'm just maybe they're trying to be visually descriptive, which that was.
I mean, I guess. Yes, he breathes panties. While he favored his right leg, his eyes were wide with a mix of adrenaline and growing terror, while the pouring rain made the blood run and drip to the earth beneath his feet. This wasn't how things were supposed to happen. All he was supposed to do was ambush some leaf ninja alongside his compatriots, but then that monster ruined it all. She was like a demon in human skin. He still shivered at the insanity-driven pink eyes that she had as she stared directly at him. These eyes pierced his soul and made every instinct he had scream for him to run.
Really? Really? I find that difficult to believe with, like, a trained killer.
"Oh, Stonenin!" came a feminine voice in an echoing sing-song. Come out, wherever you are." Panic took the place of terror as he tried to move faster to get far away as he could. But luck was not on his side, for this damaged left leg twisted on the ground, making him fall with a shout of surprised pain as he landed on his back. "Oh, there you are!" the same voice exclaimed gleefully, making the man's brown eyes widen as he took a note of his pursuer landing on a tree branch above his prone form. She was dressed strangely for Kunoichi. Wow, that's actually a correct use of a semicolon. Let alone a psychopathic killer in his eyes. On her feet were blood-red ninja sandals, and we're really doing this. I'm actually going to be describing the entire character design by a death scene. And I'm kind of okay with this, but at the same time I find it to be a little bit cheesy that you're about to die and you're terrified for your life, but you make sure to note that they wear a bandana over their left eye. Not that I can ever say that, personally, that I've ever been in a situation that, was guaranteed to get me killed, but I've been in a couple that, could have gotten me killed, and never really paid attention to what the person was wearing or what they looked like. I was paying a little bit more attention to the gun they were pointing at me. Just, priorities. She's dressed like Sasuke post-time skip with a different color scheme. To quote Cinema Skins, skip. Yes. Red shorts and that went to her knees, and while her torso was a pure white kimono top with bell sleeves. And the kimono was held together by a red obi, and it showed her developing figure that had no covering. And her hair was red and wavy, falling to her rear end and tied up her upper back with a black ribbon. Finishing off her appearance was her eyes, which were a fierce pink and had slit black pupils. Her eyes shone with insane glee, which was highlighted by the many splashes and flecks of blood that ruined her once pristine kimono and beautiful face. In her hand was a sword that had a serrated edge that was drenched in blood, most likely from his comrades. Leaping down, she landed with an unnatural level of grace and took a slow, measured step towards him. "I always love a good chase," she commented contentedly, as if describing something breathtaking. "It makes me feel so refreshed. Plus it helps me relieve the boredom I go through day after day." The man was trembling in fear as he tried to use his good arm and leg to move away from her. The glee in her eyes shined brighter at his struggling. "I really should thank you," she continued, still speaking in an almost sultry whisper. "You and your friends made this little excursion of ours just a little bit more memorable." Finally reaching him, she used her left foot to hold him in place and leaned down, staring deep into his terrified eyes while her lips stretched into a grin. "Arigato," she whispered as she slammed her foot hard enough for him to scream, allowing her to run her sword through his open mouth and through the back of his head. Edgelord!
Yeah, let's put up that edgelord thing.
I don't even think Superboy Prime was this edgy, and that's one of the edgiest comic characters I've ever seen.
I would like to note, Calvin, that all the guns pointed at me were not legal. Just, throwing that out there. So, you can't really even be like, "Oh, it's America, you got the guns, and people just point them at people." It's like, no,
What happens
they
now?
were illegal. Calvin was like, "Oh, you're having guns pointed at you? Oh, wait, you're in America, where the land of everyone's got a gun." And I'm just like, yeah, except for
Like,
the
you know
part
there's
where the
guns we
guns
declared
were
illegal, right?
Well, in the area I was in, the pistols and whatnot were also illegal, but
Yeah.
that doesn't stop the criminals, because it turns out criminals don't pay attention to the law. Who would have guessed?
Literally anyone.
Apparently not liberals. Liberals, apparently, do not quite follow that.
Actually, no, Calvin. Theoretically, you could get your hands on a working anti-tank rifle
Oh, yeah.
as a
No,
civilian.
absolutely legal. In
Yeah.
fact, it
You
is
can also
legal.
buy the best pistol. The
It is
M1911.
legal for a civilian to own up to a 20mm anti-tank gun.
Actually, you can
without
own,
permit.
You can own a cannon. Actually,
You can own a cannon.
in some
because
states you can just own a cannon.
Can you just make a ship with like broadside cannons on it?
Yeah. Actually, the funniest
Yes.
story about that is someone actually wrote to George Washington and literally asked, "Hey, Washington, you said you had this right to bear arms thing. Does that mean I can put like cannons on my merchant ship?" And Washington wrote back, "Yes, that absolutely means you can put cannons on your merchant ship."
Can I put a cannon in my house? Can I just make my house a castle?
Can we
Yes.
own complete tanks? Yes. You can also own helicopters. Yeah. You just need the right permits.
As far as the tank goes, you need certain permits to be able to have it. Usually, if you're getting a tank, they cement the barrel so it cannot actually be fired.
But if you
But
have
I
the right permit,
think, yeah, I don't even know where you would even begin to get that permit.
federal government.
I know, but like, where do you start? Like, I don't feel like I could just call up like the Department of License and be like, "Yo, hey, who do I talk to get a tank permit?"
I mean, you would probably have better luck with the Department of Homeland Security.
Yep. Then I have to deal with the weird questions.
Well, it's really
You have to
obvious
ask
why
your
you're
real
getting a tank. Why are you
awkward
getting a
questions
tank?
anyway.
Because I want a tank to defend my home. Duh.
I hear tanks make the best guard dogs.
You're not wrong.
Max, you are not allowed to necromantically animate a tank to turn it into a guard dog.
I wasn't
I
going
think
to
he can
do
do whatever the
that.
fuck he wants. He has a
I
tank.
was gonna add I was gonna add IFF capabilities.
ATF looks at you really strangely. The fuck?
Slowly, the smile left her face in exchange for a blank look. She then pulled out her sword, letting the edge grab pieces of his skin and pull it out with the blade. That's
not how they
Not
work.
not how a sword works unless it's chipped in very specific ways, or is made with either serrated edge or barbs.
it is
I mean, given how crazy this
the
girl is, I
problem
wouldn't
here
be
is
surprised.
it is a serrated katana. That's the thing. It is a serrated katana, but I would think you would want it to be the other way around. Because if you're having trouble pulling the sword out, you better hope to hell that you're one-shotting everyone you hit with it. Alright, we're waiting, Nexus. What seems to be the issue? Serrated
waiting on
katana.
Nexus?
Yes. She has a serrated katana.
Not
Apparently
as
with
stupid in
teeth pointed
theory
towards
as
her.
well. No, hang on. That's not as stupid in theory as you might think, but the katana has to pretty much be made that way.
So basically, her katana. Get ready for some dank art skills. So basically, her katana is, you got your handle, you got your sword, and then she's got like barbs, going down like this, down the katana.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's a really shitty fantasy sword because like if you have like I get the idea, it's hard to take out and it hurts like hell to rip out, but like
Oh, well. Here's the thing. It actually is an interesting idea. Looking at Rurouni Kenshin though, because the best antagonist had what was essentially a sawtoothed katana that he took time to chip without, fucking up the core.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
And it was the meanest fucking thing you could think of. He also used it for mind games.
Yeah.
By making people think that his sword actually burned you because serration
yeah.
burns as opposed to a
Serration.
cut that stings. You ever been cut with a serrated knife by accident, Sneaky?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it burns. It burns really fucking bad.
And in a nation of pretty superstitious people, when a sword burns you, you're just like, this guy must have the most amazing sword ever.
I want nothing to do with this. Please stop.
Can I put the thorns on the other side of the sword? You cannot put thorns on the other side of the katana, as that would kind of defeat the purpose of a katana, which is a one-sided blade with a curved tang. It's called, right? Curved
I
tang.
believe that's it. It's been a while. I'm not as up to date on that. Here, Sneaky. This is an example of Shishio Makoto's sword. Zooms in real fine. It's like I took the time to chip it into a saw.
Okay,
Because he's a
yeah, no,
cunt.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense. However, the problem here is they're describing it as if it's like barbed hooks on this katana. So it's not so much a serrated edge as it is like barbs that are getting stuck in the flesh that she's then using to rip out more flesh as she's withdrawing the katana.
Letting
So
the edge grab pieces and pull it out with the blade. Yeah, that is weird.
the tangs with a
Almost
bit of
is
metal
like
inside the handle.
no, you know what this is? This is
Fuller!
someone understanding that
Fuller!
serrated edges do not pull skin off usually. If a serrated edge is pulling skin off, guess what? That means that your blade is dull. It's time to sharpen it.
But yeah, Calvin, the katana is a single-edged sword. The only double-edged sword is the European style, and even then, not all of them are double-edged.
Yeah, like when you think knights, that's a double-edged sword.
Well,
Although we have learned
it's actually
that,
funny because that double-edged swords were actually more used by the peasant class because of how easy it was to hit something with it.
Although, to be fair, we've learned that double-edged swords were much stronger than single-edge.
Well, yeah, that's because you're balancing it.
Well, also, we had better quality steel, so...
Actually, European steel is pretty low quality. It just happens that they were really good at trading for better quality steel.
Yeah.
They imported a lot of, like, some of the best
just like
steel that
of
came...
glorious Nippon steel.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, look.
Okay.
Japan's steel was worse than Europe's.
Yeah, no, like the Glorious Nippon Steel is a meme because Glorious Nippon Steel was complete shit. But we know that they had a technique that definitely made the steel stronger. So it's if you want a katana hand forged, might as well ask for them to make it with Damascus because their folding
Well, that's
technique
Damascus
works.
steel.
Yeah, I know, but imagine Damascus steel with the folding technique. Which, Sneaky, you actually have a Damascus.
Oh yeah, I know. It cuts very
Wakizashi.
nicely.
So,
Yes.
yeah, it's probably one of the strongest. No, it probably is the strongest blade you currently own.
We haven't learned to mass produce that yet, obviously, right?
The problem with the folding technique is that you need to pay attention to the unique imperfections in the steel.
Yeah.
And so you can't mass produce it.
Moth, the 7-branch sword is more of a mythological thing, I think. Doesn't have any actual use. It was ceremonial, I believe.
Yeah, no, there was no actual... The folding technique was actually meant to make up... Yeah, the folding technique was meant to make up for the shitty steel. However, when used with already strong steel, it does in fact reinforce it.
Yeah. Like, they found a way to make the shitty steel good, and as it turns out, that folding technique helps to fortify other versions of steel. As long as you don't fuck up.
Detroit quality steel.
Just don't fuck up. Fold it too much and you fucked up. Fold it too little and you fucked up.
Yeah, it takes a careful hand, and there's a reason why it isn't mass-produced and why it isn't really that much used. Let's leave it at that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's surprisingly easy to mass-produce a katana if you don't want a blade of quality. You just pour it into a mold and cut the tip off because you're a lazy cunt.
I suppose
and it's mostly meant for display, and at that point, I'm not buying it because the blade looks good. I'm buying it because the sheath looks good.
I did actually consider buying either the Genji sword or a Keyblade because it was like $40 at the GameStop I was at. And that's apparently fucking cheap.
Garbage. Yeah, no,
for like
a garbage sword.
Yeah, Moth. I think they were trying to.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: they were the same price.
Katana, but.
Anyway, so now that we've established that the author has no actual idea what they're talking about when it comes to katanas, oh, you know what they think they might have been making a reference to? Kenpachi's sword.
Which is done, well, except that Kenpachi's sword is not serrated. Kenpachi's sword is just fucked up.
It's just
because he doesn't know the sword's name.
Like, Shishio Makoto's sword is specifically, like, chipped in such a way to be serrated. Kenpachi's, he just beats things over the head.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying, is I think the author doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, I don't even think Kenpachi's
Basically, he's just so physically strong, he just, like, goes like, I just have a piece of metal. I'm gonna hit you with it.
Yeah, That's Kenpachi.
European great swords. Alright, so what if we just made a sword, right? And it's a bit dull, but it's really
Okay, I'm
big.
back. What did I miss?
I'm following you. Swords. The author doesn't know anything about swords, and they're trying to talk about swords.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, that I just.
Blah blah blah, bloody sword. Try
The
and
seven
stop
branch
someone
sword. Well,
from
that just looks
killing
like
you, you fucking pussy. She turned around, went back to her group, and the rain washed away all the blood. While the kimono she wore continued to stay stained. Entering a clearing, she saw her mentors disposing of the bodies of the ninja, blah blah, all clear, you need to ask, had to check, blah blah blah, I swear people turn into complete quims when they're about to... what is a quim?
What?
Quim. Vulgar slang for vagina. It's a Brit slang. Why are Japanese ninjas using British slang? Author, your shitlordery stupidity is showing. I fucking hate Brits.
That's kind of a weird one.
I fucking hate Brits. I despise British fanfiction authors.
USA.
I despise British fanfiction authors. Because I've read a couple worm stories where they're using a bunch of British slang in them, like, bloody hell, mate! I'm just like, nobody from Northern England, New England states uses British slang. Nobody. Nobody says mate up here.
Listen,
Unless it's
we
ironically.
hate you guys too much for that.
Look, we've removed letters from the alphabet in terms of spelling words. Because of
Out
how
of
much we
spite.
hate Britishism.
We kicked you out of our country for a reason.
Well, actually, most of the time those letters were removed because you could get the same sound for the word with fewer letters, and American newspapers by the letter.
Well, I mean, yeah, but, fuck you.
But hey, the other one's funnier.
Blah 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 blah. Let's head back. Hokage-sama, blah blah blah. Are you okay? Why wouldn't you be? Just checking. Anko and I worry about you. And Kikyo. Who the fuck's Kikyo? Kikyo Naruto. Kikyo. Kikyo Castle. Kikyo Pass. Kikyo the Naruto times Kikyo. So it's a character, but I don't know who this person is.
Huh.
Battle of Kikyo is a villain? No. That's Inuyasha.
The only thing I'm finding is on the Naruto fanon wiki.
Where's the fanon wiki? Kikyo, the Naruto fanon wiki, is a Yuki Onna that lives in Yukigakure until she moves to Kirigakure after meeting her future husband, Raisen Shinso.
Maybe this Kikyo is supposed to be
Abilities. Vampire God form.
Empire what form?
Vampire god form.
Ah.
You what, mate?
I mean, no, that was a thing in, like, fucking Rosario Vampire, and that was still stupid, but it is
Shinto
actually a term that's used.
transmigration. He has the following affinities: Dark release, Yin Yang, and Yin Yang release.
Moth,
Boy,
he can't read
Ryzen-
chat. He
Ryzen
refuses to.
Shinso sure looks a lot like young Zangetsu. That sure is weird.
Age, deceased. That is not how that works in the fucking slightest. But that still doesn't appears in anime. Which anime? Where? Who?
appears in anime. What do you mean it? What the fuck?
Age deceased.
Blood type AP. Ninja
What?
rank head ninja. I'm sorry. What?
What?
They're a head ninja.
There's nothing. There's nothing here for this person. Why are they in the relationship tab on the Naruto section then? They aren't even an actual character.
They're not on a tab.
Yes, they are. They're a relationship.
No, that's Koyuki, not
Oh.
Kikyo.
Okay, so who the hell is Koyuki?
Oh, this was the actress from the first Naruto movie, I think. Yeah, it's the actress in Land of Snow.
Ah!
The rainbow Rasengan.
Why the hell
Yeah,
is
Land of
this
Snow is actually one of the only Naruto movies I've actually
Why
seen.
the hell is this an Itachi
Apparently the only
harem
good one?
with Naruko and Koyuki?
Wait, is that? Oh my god! It actually does say Naruko. Oh
Yes!
Oh, it
god!
does.
Why? No.
This is an
Oh, we should
Itachi
prob-
harem for a yandere Naruko and Kikyo.
the fuck. This is your fault, Sneaky. We suffer because of you.
Oh, no, Moth's not going anywhere. Calvin is. Hi, Calvin.
Bye, Calvin.
So is Kikyo. Can we go now? Yuago Uzuki sighed softly. Of course she knows Yuago. It was no secret that Kikyo was very sensitive subject for Kisaki. Whenever she was brought up, Kisaki would lock herself up emotionally and try and avoid the conversation and the one conversing. Wait, I think Kikyo is supposed to be Koyuki.
Oh.
Because I think Kisaki is our yandere Naruko.
I need you to stop talking.
Yeah. Kisake Uzumaki. So yeah, that's the yandere Naruko.
Oh boy.
Was an academy student. What? Wait. At a young age, Kisaki was taken in by the snake mistress, and the girl was in a dark place. It happened years ago when the girl was once so innocent and kind, with the scorn of the village weighing her down. One night, she was in a field called the Junkyard, known as Field 21. Blah blah blah. At the time, what? That is what? An unoccupied training field with lots of leftover weapons scattered called the junkyard. Who the fuck would just leave a crap ton of weapons around?
Literally no one.
No one.
At least it isn't the Ruby Rose, that's the male faunus Ruby Rose, who was Weiss's bodyguard and Crow's blood nephew.
Oh,
That was
God,
also
that
related
thing.
with, oh yeah, the Silver Wolf, yeah.
Can we not discuss that ever again?
I hear if you say its name 3 times, it appears in the next tab.
I hear if you say it at all, someone shoots you in the face for mentioning it.
Ah yes, the 700mm cannon. Yes.
Look, I want a 700mm cannon, but I want it on Gundam ground type.
You know what? I would be fine actually with like a Ruby character just like, oh, I have a 700mm cannon. Where do you even carry it? Oh no, that's my semblance.
It summons
What?
a hard light 700mm cannon.
Yeah, it's like you could stuff anything in that thing and it'll shoot it. Does it come with ammo? No, not really.
They just
Oh.
have a.
You also
No, they
can't
have,
forget,
they
Max.
just have like a Mac cannon. They can like put anything in it. And
You,
it just,
you
like,
forget, Max, you can't touch my scythe because of the blood magic on it
Oh,
that stops
God.
it from cutting me.
Oh
what is this? A Ku's
yeah.
fucking mistake sword?
Okay, no, whoa, C8. Aura rounds are actually a thing I would absolutely believe. Like, all things considered, I would actually believe a character having a weapon that allows them to inject their aura into it and turn it into temporary bullets. I would believe that. Also kind of cool. But I draw the line at the 70mm blood magic cannon.
Okay, but what if Arthas was the one who made it?
Well, it's Arthas. Blood magic's kind of the only thing he does.
I mean, aside from just ice magic, but I guess that's also technically blood magic for him.
Max? Idea?
What?
Write
Would
that
you-
down. Moth has it.
Which thing?
Aura rounds using MP.
Instead of yeah, using HP instead of MP. Kill yourself if you're not careful. I mean,
Put that down for the Ruby D&D RPG thing we're gonna make someday eventually, whenever we don't get sued by Rooster Teeth. And or possibly sell to Rooster Teeth.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad. I need to get me a Gundam ground because it comes with 180.
Anyway, blah 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 blah. Only knew Anko barely at the time. She knew Kisaki was a person. Blah blah. As for Yuago, she definitely knew of Kisaki as well as the mother. After all, swordswoman, blah 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 blah, useless garbage. Same night, spiteful daring citizens pulled together the funds to hire a third-party assassin to kill the girl. Okay. So while Kisake was enjoying her time training, she was unprepared for someone to enter the field and attack her. But the Anbu probably weren't unprepared for the person entering the field trying to attack her. Right, author? Right?
No.
Oh wait! No! She didn't have Anbu guards because of some author-fiated reason. And no one but Kisake knows what happened after that. All anyone ever knows from then on is that when the Anbu arrived, she had been fortunate to get a kill shot when he lunged at her, using the broken ninjato at last second. Once people arrived and reached her, they saw that she was covered in the man's blood, and her eyes were wide in horror and unmoving, and her body was trembling in shock. Uago still felt like the man got a merciful death. She wanted to torture him for what he did. What surprises her to this day is that Itachi Uchiha, the traitor of the ninja village of Konoha, was the one that found her and stayed by her side while she was catatonic. After a week of being unresponsive, she finally started moving. But what was strange to everyone was how she introduced herself as Kiko. What? Okay.
Okay. So
Wait, I'm really confused.
it's a split personality thing.
I
Apparently.
know, I'm really confused. Is Kikyo supposed to be the innocent personality? Because, Kisaki was just shown brutally murdering someone a little bit earlier. And if that's supposed to be the innocent personality... yes, Isley, you missed a lot of important details. Anyway, blah 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 blah. She couldn't remember anything about her traumatic experience. You have a traumatic experience? Okay. It was beyond concerning, and both women remember how the Yamanaka clan head, Inuichi, had entered the girl's mind to determine what had happened. Yuago gave an involuntary shudder at remembering the memory. Within seconds of entering Kikyo's mind, his body began to explode with cuts and slashes. Okay, so apparently she's fucking Alma.
X.
Of course she's Alma.
And then he was.
I mean, what other fucking psychotic child is there, right?
Yeah, apparently.
I should replay Fear at some point.
No, you should.
Do it for a stream.
Well, after that,
That's
Kikyo was changed.
I'm gonna play Bioshock first.
Okay, so Kikyo is apparently the innocent personality, and Kisaki is the murder hobo.
Look,
the threat
can I
she
just say
made.
that when written well, murder hobos are in fact entertaining.
Oh yes, very. The threat she made, the rage in her eyes, and the protectiveness towards Kikyo made them all realize that the one girl had become two girls. And the one they once knew as Kisake was now a fierce, sadistic girl who was adamant about keeping Kikyo safe. As for Kikyo, she took on the role of what Kisake used to be. Kind, compassionate, innocent. Dissociative identity disorder.
Not how dissociative identity disorder works. And in fact, many psychologists have begun to question if it's even a thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, what it was originally used for is basically how people could switch between, like, being super chummy with friends, and then being like, alright, it's murder time, and then, like, being cold and hard.
Because they were convinced that those people, like, they're like, look, we don't know why someone would do that, and then we discovered psychopath.
Yeah. And the thing is that that's not split personality, author. DID is not split personality. DID is not two identities. It is when you disassociate from emotions when dealing with certain people and things, and or life in general.
I was gonna say, believe it or not, DID can actually be learned, and for individuals that undergo, generally speaking, Black Ops training, they basically condition them to have.
Oh
DID
no, yeah, no, like straight
torture.
up, like Navy SEALs, like can be like, I love you, buddy, and then they'll be like, oh, you gotta kill this man. He's like, okay, snaps his neck and moves on.
Well, no, not only that, but I'm talking about when they're under torture. Like,
Well, yeah.
self-induced DID is a very effective method of resisting torture by just going, wow, that dude's getting his fingernails ripped out. That must hurt like hell. Good thing I'm not him, even though you are him.
Yes. But yeah, so author gets mental illnesses wrong. So surprising, right? That's an absolute shocker that...
I would just say, to be fair, that's a pretty common misconception.
Well, yeah, but if you're gonna write about it, you should at least know about it.
But I'm saying because it's a common misconception, they may have been like, yeah, I got this. I know just enough to write a fan fiction.
For fuck's sake, read this, you cunt. It's probably an undeclared crossover with Inuyasha. I mean, probably. Does Kikyo have pink eyes?
I don't think she does. But it's been forever since I watched Inuyasha. Don't quote me on that.
It's been...
Who is it not Inuyasha?
No, Kikyo does not have pink eyes, so...
Which one's Kikyo again?
The priestess that Inuyasha has a boner
don't
for?
think. I think she has red eyes when she's resurrected. I don't
and
know.
brown
what
eyes
happens
when
afterwards.
she's normal, yeah.
When she's part demon or whatever.
Nobody knows how that works.
Anyway, so blah 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 blah, words, stupid story. Kikyo stays with Itachi. Blah blah, words. They loved each other, kind of, sort of, in a brotherly relationship. And Kikyo became attached to Itachi, and Itachi became attached to Kisake. And then suddenly the Uchiha massacre happened, and Itachi killed everyone, and the dual persona girl was left in a depressed state. Once she had been taken to the rapists, Kikyo wouldn't respond and would simply weep in silence while Kisake would sit in defiant silence, refusing to say a thing. At one point, however, Kisake snapped and cut down the therapist once she began to degrade and insult the Uchiha for his atrocious acts.
XD.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna move on. It's a grammatically well-written story with basically a uninteresting plot, at least to me. Does anyone else feel that way?
I'm not hooked on this in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I've kind of lost interest in these edgy stories.
I never had interest in these edgy stories.
It's more just like I've lost interest because they're just fucking mind-numbing at this point.
How about familiar Zero Elder Scrolls? How do you feel about that?
Can't be
No.
worse than
This could
Spider
only end
Poison Blood.
horribly.
Only if Todd Howard's a character in this will I accept it.
By Sniper No Sniping. So you know it's gonna be good.
Okay, is this a TF2 fan or a Dota fan?
I'm
Yes.
gonna guess a TF2.
I'm gonna guess TF2 as well.
Because Sniper does remarkably little sniping.
A good TF2 sniper
Luis's
isn't
mouth wraps
extremely
around the
terrifying.
dick. I'm just kidding. Luis's mouth writes a check that she isn't sure she can carry out.
It's a check that you can't cash. It's a check you can't cash. God, moron.
This better be a foreigner.
But
Wait,
if
what'd
she
you say?
Like,
what? But if she can, it would be the most important event to happen in Tristan.
That's no. No.
Dragon
that's not how that works.
Dovahkiin and elf problems ahead. Any advice?
They do not have Max. They do not have a listed country of origin.
Any advice would be a great help. I am currently playing and watching both stories as I write this, so please give me all the help you can and
They're
all the lore
watching
you
it.
guys can while I study them.
They're watching it.
This is a literal author. This is an author's note inside the summary. So I already grade this story with an F. You have failed, author, at even making me remotely interested in this story. Todd Howard now has a waifu.
Sorry, what? Todd Howard is a waifu. What? Oh no!
What?
did
Howard?
What did you do?
Isley explain?
Isley,
Isley, stop.
I'm hesitant to say this, but go ahead and put a link in the degenerate corner.
Oh no.
Provided it does not violate the rules. Go ahead and give us the link.
Oh, is this like the Todd Howard girl fucking Photoshop thing?
Probably.
Yeah, I've seen that way too many times. I think I actually have that in my shitposting folder.
See, my main problem with this picture is I can't tell if this is real or not. Like, I know it's a guy holding a shotgun in a Teletubby costume. My problem is I can't tell if it's a Photoshop of Todd Howard in a Teletubby costume holding a shotgun, or if it's actually Todd Howard in a Teletubby costume holding a shotgun.
You know what? When it comes to Todd Howard, he's done some weird stuff.
That is my
wouldn't be
problem.
surprised.
That's the problem. That is the dilemma I am encountering here. Is I don't know.
Sneaky, knock knock. I heard you don't have Skyrim.
I don't. For all I know, he dressed up in a Teletubby costume, and when it released for the Switch and the phone and every other platform, he went door to door until his PR team tackled him with a shotgun saying, "Buy Skyrim." I don't know! It's Todd Howard! It's possible!
So my real question is this, Todd, when will I be able to download Skyrim directly into my brain and enter a vegetative coma to play Skyrim?
It's
Don't
called
worry,
the
my child.
Skyknife.
We are adding the smell-o-meter to Skyrim. You will now have smell mods on the marketplace you can buy. That's actually a thing, by the way. They're making VR, but with, like, smells and tastes and shit. I wish I was joking. There's, like... So fucking dumb.
Yeah, no, Luis would not have a happy encounter with, Kobayashi's, Toru, there we go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, the police would have very difficult encounters with the dragons that are very much yandere.
No, Luis, you dumbass, not Todd Howard. Oh, you got Todd Howard
I thought you said
controlling
police.
dragons. No, Luis. Todd Howard controlling dragons to force people to buy Skyrim.
Hi, Anon. I heard you wanted a dragon waifu. Well, you can have it now for the low price of Skyrim.
The low price of Skyrim. So what, one Dark Elf invasion?
Yes. Imagine going into a sewer in-game and you find that.
Just Todd Howard with a shotgun.
Observe!
Like,
Todd Howard with a shotgun. Modifiers. Teletubby costume. Should I be worried
Legendary
more about
picture.
the
You
fact
get
that
the
there's an
Teletubbies
enemy called
costume.
Todd Howard with a shotgun, or the fact that he has modifiers of Teletubby costume?
Is this the new Dark Souls boss?
Yes. He takes the place of the Abyss Demon.
Where's
No,
my mod
Sneaky.
for that?
Sneaky, clearly he needs to take the place of the Covetous Demon,
Indeed.
so that we actually have a decent boss fight in that stupid portion of Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, no, Toru would probably get triggered and murder anyone.
Also, hot take: Marjula has a better theme than Firekeeping
Majula,
Dragon.
fucking moron.
Jesus.
I don't fucking know the name of it off the top
you
of my head.
combined Marluxia and Majula.
I'm just so done. Anyway, let's keep going.
Marjula's better than Firekeeper Shrine. Music. There, I said it. Fight me.
Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, Jesus Christ. Familiar of Zero is owned by someone. Skyrim is owned by someone else. Neither of them are me. Author trying to be witty. Dark Souls 2 is not better than Dark Souls 1, you fucking heretic.
I never said it was
No,
better. I just
Isley
said
did.
the theme was better.
Isley did.
I mean, I enjoyed Dark
Tristane.
Souls 2. I enjoyed Dark Souls 2 more than I enjoyed Dark Souls 1, but they're both wonderful games.
I really want to be able to play the Dark Souls games. You should. The Tristane Academy of Magic was one of the largest attractions in the entire country of Tristane. Within its hallowed grounds, mages from all countries came to teach the students and to pursue their own research. The students came from just as many countries, and because of this, there were bound to be some that were bitter and angry with each other. The best example of this was the Valerie Zerbas students that were neighbors across the Tristane-Germania border and had a feud. I wonder, is that border the Maginot Line?
Maginot. Sneak.
Imagine online sneaky.
Well, you know what? Maybe the French would spell better.
You don't get to talk, Marjula boy.
This shit is gayer than motherfucking Vice Ganda. Fuck off with that life gem shit and lose the maximum health every time any healing item is used shit. No, you don't lose max health every time you use a healing item, you lose max health every time you die.
Yeah, unless you have the unless you have the Ring of Life Protection, which is easy mode.
I mean,
you could also just, be good at the game and just have like 100+ effigies to get.
Fuck you! I want a meme.
I still think the Ring of Life Protection is easy mode.
But yeah, Dark Souls 2 is really not that hard.
Which is why it's fanfiction.
It's not fanfiction.
Today, the newest generation had taken this feud and let it taint all of their interactions with each
Sneaky,
other.
you wanna know why I know Dark Souls 2 isn't that bad? Because unlike Metroid, unlike other M, no one's disowned it yet.
I mean,
that's my metric for how bad a game is. Have the official creators and the company disowned it? If the answer is no, it's not as bad as other M. And I think that's a pretty good metric.
That's a fair
metric. That's fairly good.
Yeah. The blah 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 taunting blah 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 blah. So what's the story? Yeah, that's a good question, Luis. What is this story?
Sadness.
As her enemy's voice mocked her leaving the headmaster's office, blah 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 blah, spells, blah blah, explosions, blah blah blah, cannon rails. Yeah. Blah 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 blah, detention room, blah blah, they finally expelling you. They're just words, blah blah blah, shit grammar, blah 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 blah. Mon Mercy, blonde girl with curls in her hair, and Tabitha, quiet blue girl with her eyes in book and her staff in hand.
Is it just Mercy? What the fuck?
Montmorency? Fucking
Dude,
it's the freaking French.
He didn't spell it right. He literally did not spell it right.
Yeah, no, Sneaky's, as much as I think Sneaky's an idiot,
That's not spelled right. It's supposed to be like Montmorency. Like
Oh,
the
that
way it's
explains it.
spelled. He is misspelling it to hell and back.
I would say, Sneaky,
It's
in
still
this
French,
particular instance,
but
you are not an idiot.
This time.
This time.
don't worry. I'm sure that'll
Yeah,
fix itself
I
in
knew
like
it
the
was
next
dumb.
4 minutes.
Oh, I know it will, I'm just saying.
Thank you, Isley.
Anyway, so
Some-
blah
something
blah.
like that,
What? The two loud girls gasped at her words. Why not? Luis moved down the stairs the way out. This dialogue is cringe. This fucking action narrative is cringe.
It's all terrible.
The grammar is awful. Blah blah blah
I'll be back, I'm
canon.
gonna go eat.
Blah blah blah. Wow, that's the start of a paragraph and it's not even capitalized. Whew. Okay. Blah blah. Point for Team Zerbest. Both girls started laughing. Blah blah blah. You always have bad days. You can't even get a real code name, Luis the Zero. Blah blah. Finally got a rise. Blah blah. Tomorrow should be fun. I can't wait to see what kind of familiar you summon. Blah 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 blah. I'm competent in one spell. The summoning spell, Summon Servant. How would you know you? This is. By the way, this isn't canon. As far as I'm aware, this is just fanon conversation right here. This one spot right here where Luis proclaims that she's proficient in a spell she's never tried. But I see a lot of familiar Zero Fix do this. Well, a lot of the shit ones do it.
Yeah, that sounds like it might have been a weird, like, fan translation choice. Because all the official material is, I'm confident I can do this.
Yeah.
Not, I'm competent in this. It's, I'm confident I can do this one spell.
And then she displayed her confidence with the biggest lie ever told in the academy. They were taken aback by her reaction. Just you watch. Luis capitalized her sentence. I will summon a familiar that is divine and as powerful as a dragon. It will be more powerful than anything you can summon up, and then we'll see who is laughing. Personally, my favorite weird story subject idea is when Luis summons Skyrim. Just all of Skyrim, accidentally. Accidentally is Skyrim. It was pretty fun. And dumb, but it was funny. And her tormentors were flabgasted. Reaching her room, she blah 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 blah. Her confidence left her. Her own words now haunted her. I can't even grammar it correctly. Blah 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 blah. Shitty world building because the author is kind of just throwing details in that they might have seen at one point in time somewhere. Blah blah blah. Rule of Steel. Blah blah blah. Why did I say I would summon a dragon? Blah blah blah. Dragon, dragon, dragon. Blah blah. They're all summoning things. Tabitha summoned a dragon. Kirchi smirked as she patted Flame, who wasn't named yet, but is currently being named Flame because the author forgot that he's not named Flame yet. Blah 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 blah. Summoning ritual. Blah blah blah. Canon 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 canon. A non-canon head canon from the author is Professor Colbert was angry that none of the other teachers wanted to minister the summoning ritual for Luis's class because they were all afraid of Luis. And so he took it upon himself to minister the ritual. And blah 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 blah. Shit narrative, shit narrative. I'll prove them all wrong. Shit narrative, shit grammar, shit narrative. A frog suited Montmorency, still spelling it wrong. And an owl fit Malicorn. That's a compliment? Is calling someone a spirit animal with an owl supposed to be an insult? Guys?
Huh?
Anyway, blah blah blah, affinities and personalities and powerful mages, blah blah blah. Kirchi looked around in surprise that she missed Louise trying to summon something. She couldn't have missed it, so she pointed it out to Colbert. "Oh, teacher, Louise hasn't summoned her familiar." She sing-songed it. And the look of fear and anger on Louise's face glare prepped and fired at Jiggly Monster, but unfortunately it sadly has no effect. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Miss Zerbest. Kirchi's noise was confusing Sylphed to no end. Croon? Sylphed, her wind dragon familiar, crooned at Tabitha. Teasing, bad at it, Tabitha said without looking up as Louise started to make her way towards the summoning zone. Sylphid was confused. Older sister friend was teasing Louise but was hurting her by doing so. Oh, so we're just hopping point of views for no fucking apparent reason. Okay. Apparently this is from the dragon's point of view? And wait,
We are now.
why does the dragon think Tabitha and Louise are friends? Why does Sylphid hope that Louise isn't her? What? Huh? What? Everyone tried to excuse themselves out, afraid of Louise exploding. Blah blah blah, and not the Zero, not her. I think I hear my mother calling me, and they all started to disperse and run away because they're afraid of Louise exploding the summoning spell. I know you can do this. You're just as powerful, magic. What? Colbert walked up to her, placed his hands on her shoulder, and softly said, "I know that you can do this. You can use just as powerful magic as anyone else." Plot holes.
Plot holes.
What the shit is this in Maine? Is it supposed to be a Steam thing that exploded because it's Canada?
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Atin
He's
posted
looking-
something in Maine.
He posted a gif of a water leak from a pin-sized hole in freezing weather.
Oh.
If he clicked on the link, he could have seen that.
Huh. How about that? Wow. That just keeps getting worse. That is mildly disturbing. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that, Atin. I appreciate your contributions to this stream.
I think he died again.
Blah 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 blah. My servant that exists somewhere in this vast universe, my divine, beautiful, wise, powerful servant, heed my call. What my summoning something, anything, please be, let it be something that can get Kirchi to shut up. Please let me summon something that will impress my mother. Please bring me something that will show how strong I am. I wish from the bottom of my heart, then add to my guidance and appear. I wish from the bottom of my heart and add to my guidance and appear. What?
Oh.
Okay. And then it exploded, and then Colbert pointed at the area and got rid of the smoke. And then he glanced towards the girl, and she was a mess. Blah blah. The words were different, Kirchi thought to herself as she listened to the Zeros chant, but she pointed her wand at a burst of expected smoke and unexpected heat rushed across the field where she pointed. For a second or two everyone waited, but as the smoke began to clear, people began to laugh. She was a failure. Sylphid had become tense, and Tabitha questioned what was going on. I smell her. I am frightened. The panicked voice in her head startled Tabitha. She knew Sylphid could communicate like that, but what startled her was how scared Sylphid sounded and admitted. Ooh, I don't know, I'm scared. Blah 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 blah. Luis looks bad. Blah 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 blah. And then the smoke started to clear, and then a high-pitched, feminine, loud voice destroyed the laughter by roaring out of the smoke. Holo zu droviolos tinvak dovazul. Luis worried that someone might have wandered into the casting zone because no animals speak, and he or she might have frightened off the familiar she summoned. And she was about to charge in, but to find her familiar, the voice spoke again. Tola Kinir Dar Lokvakor. A sonic boom seemed to accompany the second half of the phrase, and the clouds of smoke parted with extreme haste. And then her eyes grew wider and wider. A dragon was being revealed. Head and neck were armored, and blah 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 to dragon. And it's Skyrim dragon. And then the smoke moved. And then blah blah blah. She confronted that. She confirmed that Spindred.
Are you
What?
Are you okay?
What? What the shit?
Look at this.
What?
shit?
Where am I looking?
She confirmed that Spindred.
It's not how you spell Sylphid. That's not. That is not how you spell Sylphid in the slightest.
Had a pair of front
Why are
legs.
people like this?
This dragon was biped and had wings, and the wings were large and graceful bat-like things, and it's a Skyrim dragon. And blah blah, the dragon was examining itself as much as the rest of the class. Fos vo oblivion. Only after an entire minuet passed did anyone move. To everyone's surprise, it was the Zero who did it by turning to Kirchi and shouting, I told you I would summon a dragon. And Colbert was worried about who was speaking in that voice, because only royal announcers speak that loudly. Where was Speaker? He wondered to himself as Dragon lowered its body until it was face to face with the mages. Fast lost he Saigot? Fast tinvoke lost toll? Jean and Louise both took a step backwards. The dragon was talking. It was a powerful voice they heard, and now it was speaking to them. Fos co oblivion koros waze? Everyone in the crowd was once again awestruck. Kirchi was jealous. Jealous of the... Sorry. Gil Ios. They literally just spelled the word correctly. Literally just spelled it correctly and then went to repeat it incorrectly.
Ay.
Of the zero. Tabitha took one look at the dragon and cataloged everything she could see. Blah blah. Fos co oblivion koros waze. Fos co oblivion koros waze. Fos co oblivion koros waze. Do you know the way?
No.
Louise looked at the professor, and no one had any idea what was going on. Hello, I am the professor of Academy of Magic. What are you? We have never seen you before. He repeated this phrase over and again in German. Germanian, and again in every language he knew, hoping for a response. The dragon's head snapped around to fix an eye on the professor. Zuhu han he dist teed zu nunon viz mindok drov zu tinvok dovazul. I can't even tell if they're misspelling the dragon words. It's so fucking Gene. Why is he Gene? Why are you using Gene? Nobody calls him Gene.
Everyone calls him Colbert. Colbert. I don't remember.
You can understand us, but you can't speak the language. Alright, continue the bonding ritual then. Whoa, sang Zood fun some little Jor cast spells on me, and what do you mean by bonding? Everyone blinked. At the last part was interesting. Oh, so now my voice returns. The dragon grumbled, sounding like an avalanche. You can speak. I thought you said you couldn't speak. Oh wow, that's super convenient. That Skyrim and the world of Familiar of Zero happen to speak the exact same language. They're so similar. You know, it's not like the original summoning, canon summoning, also didn't have language issues. Oh, wait!
Author, you suck.
Well, almost just threw myself off my seat. I can speak this language, but before I was confused and spoke in native Dovazul, the dragon answered. Dovazul, I have not heard that language. Enough of this. What do you mean by bonding, and why did the little one point her wand at me? You shouldn't know what wands are. There are no wands in Skyrim. There are no wands in Oblivion, period.
You see that wand? You can cast from it.
Have I been drinking? Have I been drinking tonight?
What the fuck do you think
Yes.
is the answer, guys?
Is that dead?
I think so. Oh no, he said he was gonna go eat food.
Yes.
I'm taking this out of his paycheck.
You don't pay
I
him.
fortified myself with chicken. What level of stupidity have I returned to?
The
Oh,
author
Lord,
is
I see
misspelling words left and right. Continues to be bad grammar. Luis turned the Dovahkiin into possibly.
I've been gone for 10 minutes. Eating food.
Possibly turned the Dovahkiin into a dragon, who also speaks Tristanian.
Uh-huh. Makes sense. Carry on.
Of course it does.
Anyway, so bonding ritual is where we bond the summoner and the summoned. The dragon growled and drew itself up, and you want to kidnap me from my home and make me your slave. Do I get no say? It is
Okay,
how...
look, I don't think
Okay.
the Dovahkiin
Okay.
the Dovahkiin has to deal with the Daedra. Honestly, he'll just be like, fine.
We
I'll
don't
just
know
kill
if
you
this is
later.
the Dovahkiin yet. So far, it's just a giant ancient blue dragon from Skyrim.
Okay, look, even if it's a dragon from Skyrim, he'll just be like, at least it isn't Molag Bal.
No, the dragon would most certainly be like, if you're not Alduin or Dovahkiin, I'm gonna fucking eat you.
That's fair. That's fair.
But no, like, this is something... I don't know if the author's trying to be meta here, or if they're too stupid to realize what's going on here. But you kidnap me, and that gives you the right to make me your slave. Do I have no option in this at all? Or am I just going to be enslaved? Colbert responds with, it's just how we've been doing it for hundreds of years. Because that makes it better?
Here, Suthner, what's it? What was the theme song for the South when they lost? I assume they still teach it in public school.
No. There's a theme song. They did not teach it to us.
But you do know it.
No. I don't concern myself with history usually. Outside of killing people is very bad. You should stop doing it in a attempt at efficiency.
Europeans are exceedingly efficient at killing people. Anyway, so, moving on. I refuse to become your slave. Return me to my life I lived before this. Luis was terrified. No, do not leave. I must prove that I'm not a failure. The dragon paused and looked over to her. Please, I need to prove myself that I am a mage, as every spell I cast is a massive explosion, and this is my last chance to prove that I'm not a failure that everyone thinks I am. I need to show that I am not a weakness. I need to show that I am not a weakness. Okay. No, Isley. Just Europeans. All Europeans. Anyway, the dragon looked at her. I have failed to cast everything I've ever been taught, and everything always explodes. And she's trying to diplomance the dragon with this kind of sob story? Really? And everyone hates me, and my mother hates me, and I need to be super strong, or else I'm never going to be able to look at her. And I need to prove that I'm a successful mage, or else I'll be married off, and I'll be shamed. Foos Fasrumar! A wave of pale smoke leaves the dragon's mouth, impacts Louise, and travels back through the crowd. Many cry out and fall backwards, gripped in terror. The dragon moves in closer on the heels of the attack, in her face a second after it passed. Louise feels like it is her facing her mother's glare, how she knows it will feel if she goes home without a familiar. The dragon moves back and looks at the sun. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Finally, a crunch breaks the silence, and dragon punches the ground. I will not be a slave. I will not be at your beck and call. I won't do anything you ask. There will need to be good reasons for me to ever obey you. But if you meet those requirements, I will accept to be bonded. Skyrim Dragon. Not murdering all of the mortals. Yeah, no, Discord crashed. Yeah, it's not really even funny cringe. It's just, it is wrong on just so many levels that even the setup just absolutely fails. Oh. The other dragons call me Dovahkiin. Okay, so yeah, Luis turned Dovahkiin into a dragon. Or the Dovahkiin turned into a dragon, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know, this is stupid. This story is stupid. This is stupid. This story is built upon a foundation of dust. No dragon would agree to be bound unless they had been vested. The Dovahkiin being a dragon all of a sudden. What else? Constant shit tier grammar. Like,
Oh, there
Hello.
it goes.
You've never
How
read
long did it take
a
you to
book?
realize that we weren't talking because Discord crashed?
Until someone started poking me about it.
Oh my god, Sneaky.
What? You guys barely ever talk anyway when I'm ranting. So why the fuck would I think that you're somehow not there?
But you didn't notice that, like, there are points where we would have chimed in.
Maybe. You
And
usually
how did
don't,
you not
though.
notice the Discord crash? Like, you didn't hear the disconnect noise?
No, I'm in streamer mode.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
stream
right,
mode
you turn all
disables
notifications off.
everything. He also apparently doesn't keep his phone on him during streams, which is good to know. So if I ever need to call a friend, Sneaky is not going to be that call on
Yes.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
From 7 to 9 p.m., yes.
Watch Max's house catch fire at exactly 7 to 9 on a Tuesday.
It's like you've never read a book before. ... Constant point of view switching. Unstable narrative. you guys think of anything else?
No, I can't think so.
You can't think? Well, that's not surprising.
Oh, funny.
Thank you.
So point of view switching, unstable narrative. Eh?
Yes. And for the love of God, run your chapters through a spell check. There is literally hundreds for free out there, including people. Just stop using Notepad. That about covers my rage on this story.
For once, all your points were actually completely correct and justified. And you managed to write an entire thing without threatening to kill them, telling them to kill themselves, commit suicide. You
You
actually
know
did a
what?
good job on
You know
that.
what You know what's the worst part about this fic? 1,184 favorites. 83 chapters, 441,000
You have 83
words.
chapters of a dragon in that world. The eyes...
441,000 words.
Literally, a dragon will beat everything.
This is just dumb.
Okay, so I was wrong. You only cursed at them once. Well, and you didn't even curse at them. You cursed at their grammar. But still, that's a pretty marked improvement for you.
Dumb. Fucking stupid. I don't care. Alright. Well, we nearly nailed it in terms of timing. That's pretty cool, I guess. Anyway, so Friday is going to be another case of being around 7:30-ish. Next Tuesday is going to be another case of being around 7, because I'm working 4-hour shifts during every day but Friday, where I'm working at 12, and Saturday. But
Yeah!
that doesn't affect anything. So, yeah.
Nice.
That wasn't even like good, enjoyable, angry ranting, wasn't even like, funny. It was just depressing. It was just depressing and bad and boring. But it's popular. I think that's the most disappointing part of it.
Okay, so Discord apparently had a hiccup.
You just fixed it?
Yeah,
God, it's like drunk Sneaky was answering the question.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I had my mic off because I went to go make food because I figured it was going to take a bit for it to come back online.
No, C8, it was not a typical day for fanfiction theater. It was not. Like, normally we at least get one story we can sit down and really roast and rant and rave at, and...
Or we can get sidetracked on because we're that angry.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to say, we have I'm angry because this is bad. We have I'm so angry I'm trying not to think about it, and we have so angry I'm only gonna focus on this.
I'm gonna spend the next 2 hours explaining in precise detail why this is garbage.
I need to tell you why you're stupid.
In all honesty, it's actually rare to have.
We covered quite a number of stories today.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even that. It's rare to have a story like this where it's just really, really boring.
Like, I mean, not only was it boring, like, we've had a couple stories that were, like, grammatically correct and just generally just uninteresting, but this was, like, completely, suspension of disbelief breaking plot. Just completely just like, alright, take everything you know about both series, shelve it, now read this story. The grammar was atrocious.
Like,
and,
at least with a Star Wars one, I can get angry.
Well, I mean, no, it's like, if the plot was at least amusing, there's quite a number of stories that I've read where the grammar was actually quite bad, but I read them because the plot was still amusing. Like, the plot was boring as shit.
Like, I mean,
The
My Little
hook was
Fireflower
crap.
has some pretty bad grammar on occasion, but it's a funny story.
Yeah.
And when it isn't funny, it's interesting.
Like, the grammar was crap. The hook was non-existent. Like, the hook was the title of the story, and then everything past the title of the story made you less and less interested. The dialogue was painful. Just everything about that story, and about pretty much all of the stories we covered today, they were just bad. They were just normal, -0 bad. Like, they weren't even like, oh, funny bad or ranty bad. They were just bad. They were just flat bad. Uninteresting, boring, poorly written garbage that
like, they
some
weren't
reason
even
was fun.
poorly enough written that we could be like, were they drunk? No, they're just bad.
They're just bad.
Yep.
Can't even come up with a different word to describe how bad it was, because it wasn't that bad. It was just bad. Yeah. But anyway. So now that we've actually filled the last 4 minutes with more energy the entire fucking stream combined, I think this is where we say goodbye, and we'll see you all next time on Friday, where hopefully we'll have at least more amusing
Yes.
things to rant and rave at. Because,
Yes,
of
indeed.
course, there is always more, and it always gets worse.